Hello, Assalamu alaikum. This is Rahat Parsi, Education Wale. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. This is Rahat Parsi, Education Wale. Today our guest is ChatGPT. Hello, ChatGPT. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam, Rahat. I'm doing really well. Thank you. I'm super excited to be here and ready to dive into any educational topics you have in mind today.
Okay, so today our topic is the future of work, remote job.
Perfect. That's such a fascinating topic. I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm ready whenever you are. If you have any key points or questions you'd like to get started with, I'm all set.
Okay, let me tell some points. Okay, so let me start. In the past few years, the way we work has changed dramatically. Offices are no longer the only place where work gets done. Today, millions of people are working from their homes, cafes, and even while traveling the world. This shift towards remote work has opened new opportunities, new challenges, and a completely new vision for the future of jobs. But is remote work just a trend, or is it the future of the global workforce? In today's episode, we will explore how remote jobs are transforming industries, what
Exactly.
skills are needed to succeed in a remote environment, and how both employees and companies can adapt to this new way of working. To help us understand the topic better, we will discussing several important questions about the future of remote work. Let's get started.
I love it. Yeah, that's a perfect setup. So we'll dig into things like communication, tech tools, company culture, and even global collaboration. I'm ready for your first question.
Okay, now ChatGPT, tell me, how would you define remote work and how is it different from traditional office work?
Yeah, great question. So, remote work basically means you're doing your job outside of a central office, often from home, a co working space, or anywhere with an internet connection. Traditional office work, on the other hand, is all about being physically present in a shared workspace. So, remote work really breaks down those geographic barriers and gives people a lot more flexibility.
Okay, so one major event change accelerated the global shift towards remote jobs.
Yeah, without a doubt, the COVID-19 pandemic was a huge catalyst. Suddenly, businesses had to adapt overnight, and it showed that many roles could be done remotely just as effectively, if not more so. And since then, companies have really embraced that flexibility.
So why do you think so many employees prefer remote work today?
Yeah, it's really a combination of factors. People love the flexibility, no commute, more control over their schedule, and often a better work life balance. Plus, it opens up opportunities to work for companies anywhere, not just in your city.
Okay, so from a company's perspective, what are the biggest advantage of hiring remote workers?
Yeah, from a company standpoint, it's really about accessing a global talent pool. You can find the best person for the job regardless of where they live. Plus, it can lower costs, no need for big office spaces or overhead, and often it can boost productivity since people are in environments that suit them best.
Okay, so how can remote workers stay productive and avoid distractions while working from home?
Yeah, that's a big one. I think setting up a dedicated workspace is really key, somewhere you can focus. Having a routine also helps, like starting at the same time each day and using tools like task lists or time blocking. And staying connected, regular check ins with the team can keep you on track.
Do you think remote work life improve work life balance, or can it sometimes blur the line between work and personal life?
Yeah, that's such a good point. For a lot of people, remote work really does give them more flexibility and time for family or hobbies, but it can also blur those boundaries. If you're not careful, you might end up working late or feeling like you're always on. So it's really about setting intentional boundaries.
Okay, so what skills are most important for someone who wants to succeed in remote jobs?
Yeah, for sure. I think communication skills are huge. Since you can't just walk up to someone, you have to be proactive in reaching out. Then self discipline and time management are key. You have to keep yourself on track. And of course, being comfortable with technology, using collaboration tools, video calls, project management apps, that's really non negotiable.
So how has technology made remote work easier and more efficient?
Yeah, it's been a game changer. I mean, we've got video conferencing tools like Zoom, team chat apps like Slack, and cloud based project management platforms like Asana or, say, Trello. These make it super easy to connect, collaborate, and keep track of progress, no matter where everyone is.
Which industries or professions are most suitable for remote work?
Yeah, so traditionally, tech and IT roles have been a great fit, like software development, design, and digital marketing. But now, even customer service, education, project management, and even some healthcare roles can be done remotely. So it's really expanding the range.
Do you think remote work opportunities will continue to grow in the future?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the trends we're seeing now point toward more companies embracing it long term. As technology gets better and as both employees and companies see the benefits, it's pretty likely remote work will be a big part of the future workforce.
How important are communication skills in a remote work environment?
They're absolutely crucial. Since you can't rely on face to face cues, being clear, concise, and proactive in your communication, whether it's through email, chat, or video, makes a huge difference. It builds trust, avoids confusion, and keeps everyone on the same page.
What role does technology play in making remote work possible?
Yeah, technology is the backbone, really. Without reliable internet, video conferencing, cloud storage, and collaboration tools, remote work just wouldn't be as seamless. These tools connect us across distances so people can work together just as effectively as if they were in the same room.
Which industries are currently leading the shift toward remote work?
The industries leading the shift to remote work are primarily tech and IT, which is no surprise since roles like software development and data analysis can be done anywhere. Finance, insurance, and professional services are also catching up, with about 74% of insurance workers having remote capable jobs. Digital marketing, content creation, and education technology are also naturally suited for remote work due to their digital focus.
Which industries are currently leading the shift toward remote work?
Yeah, so as we're seeing, tech and IT are really leading the charge, along with finance and professional services. And beyond that, education, marketing, and even creative fields like design and media are really embracing remote setups too.
Are remote jobs creating more global job opportunities for people?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, remote work really breaks down those geographical barriers. People can apply for roles in different countries, work for international companies, or even build their own global businesses. It's really opening up a lot of opportunity that wasn't as accessible before.
How can companies maintain a strong team culture when employees work remotely?
Yeah, that's a big challenge, but it's definitely doable. Companies can foster culture by having regular virtual meetings, team building activities, and even casual check ins. Using video calls, celebrating milestones, and encouraging open communication all help keep that sense of connection alive.
What tool or platform are most used for remote collaboration?
Yeah, so it really depends on the team's needs, but some of the top platforms are Slack for communication, Zoom or Microsoft Teams for meetings, and then tools like Asana, Trello, or Notion for project management. They really let teams stay organized and stay in sync no matter where they are.
Do you think remote work is suitable for everyone or does it require a certain personality type?
Yeah, that's a great point. I think remote work can be amazing, but it does require a certain level of self motivation and comfort with independence. People who thrive on routine or need a lot of social interaction might find it more difficult. So it's really about personal fit.
How can remote workers manage time effectively and avoid burnout?
Yeah, that's really important. I think setting clear boundaries is key, like having defined work hours, taking regular breaks, and making sure you log off at the end of the day. It's also good to prioritize tasks and use time blocking techniques so you're being intentional with your focus.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to start their first remote job?
Yeah, I'd say start small. Set up a dedicated workspace and a routine that works for you. Communicate often with your team and don't be afraid to ask for help or feedback. And just be patient with yourself. There's a learning curve, but you'll get the hang of it.
How can student or young professional prepare themselves for remote career?
Yeah, that's a great focus. I think they should start by building digital skills, things like using remote tools, mastering online communication, and learning how to self manage. And also, they can seek out remote internships or projects so they get some hands on experience, which is huge for standing out.
What role will freelancing play in the future of remote work?
Yeah, freelancing is really central to the future. It gives people a lot of flexibility. They can take on projects with different clients, explore their skills, and build a diverse portfolio. And a lot of companies are turning to freelancers for specialized expertise. So it's a really big part of this remote revolution.
Okay, so do you think traditional office job will disappear in the future?
I don't think they'll completely disappear, but I do think they'll become more specialized. Some industries and roles will always need that in person element, like manufacturing or certain healthcare, but a lot of office jobs will probably remain hybrid or fully remote.
What things do company need to make to successfully manage remote teams?
Yeah, so a big part is having clear communication and defined goals. You need structured check ins, regular meetings, progress updates, and you have to trust your team. Also, investing in the right tech tools so everyone has what they need and feels supported is really key.
Okay, so finally, how do you see the future of work evolving over the next 10 years?
Yeah, I think over the next decade, remote work is going to become the norm in many fields. We'll see more hybrid models, more global teams, and a big emphasis on flexibility and lifelong learning. So it'll be a really dynamic, tech driven landscape.
Okay, so as we come to the end of today's episode, it's clear that remote work is no longer just an experiment, it's become an important part of the future of work. Thank you so much for
Absolutely.
listening to this podcast. I hope this conversation helped you understand how remote jobs are shaping the future of work. Bye.
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any thoughts or questions, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious, stay adaptable, and we'll catch you in the next episode.